Alright, we're back with episode 21 of UWA Underground. As usual, or as we said last time, it may offend some people. There may be swearing, there may be sexual talk. This is no holds barred.
It's not half as offensive as watching you sit here and blabber by yourself. Folks,
We're wearing the same shirt.
it's clean. We're back with episode 21, continuation of the shoot interview with the cornerstone Dave Dalton. Let's just roll it.
Alright.
Alright, we're back. This is the bonus feature of our shoot interview with Dave Dalton, exclusively on UWA Underground. I am not an underground host, but we're going to play a little game of word association. I'm going to give you a couple, and I'm going to tag off. Give you a first name, Max Alexander.
Simply Irresistible, or The Future, or...
He's back to Simply Irresistible, man.
Alright. Tremendous Potential. Unfulfilled. Lack of Commitment. And Wrong Reasons for Being Here.
That's it?
Big head. Okay.
Big bald head.
Yeah. Big head. It's okay, Pat. I feel you on that one. Okay.
Dan Gervais. Wild and Dangerous Dan.
Dan is... I've in the past I've sat and ate with Dan. I've sat and drank with Dan. My God, I've even climbed into the same blood-filled ring and wrestled with Dan. Dan is a very unique wrestling character. From a people standpoint, Dan's Dan, and I don't hate Dan. I think he thinks that I do. I don't hate him. From a business standpoint, no, bro. You know what I mean? You got your thing, and I got mine, and we're different ends of the scales as far as I'm concerned. Ego size, it's fairly large, but I mean that's probably what makes Dan Dan. Leave it at that. It's a shoot, but the shoot wasn't to go after Dan. The shoot was to rectify the article earlier. So, word association, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I can live with that.
Okay. Sean Demers.
Wow. In the land of Marx, there are those who rise above the rest. Brother, you were just, wow. You had so much raw potential. You, physically, you were a runt. You know what I mean? We all knew that. You knew that. You know, you accepted that and weren't interested in, you know, you tried a little bit to change it, but you weren't interested in you know what I mean, really transforming. You had charisma, which, you know what I mean, is something that I can't teach. I can teach it to a certain extent, but you either have it or you don't. You had it. I won't deny you that. You definitely had charisma. Hell, you made me laugh a lot of times, you know. And then, you know, unfortunately, you know, somewhere along the line, it just, it was always about Sean, and that's fine. It should be. But, you know, you got to kind of watch the people that you step on to try and attain what you're going after. And, I mean, considering that you know, I think for you had decided that you didn't want to go after this seriously. You know, you had a girlfriend and whatnot, and I think CPW was probably the best thing that you could have done. You know, so Sean, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take on one of UWA Underground's hosts.
We're back on Underground. I am, of course, Donnie Dangerous. Dave Dalton on my side here. Dave, we've just heard you at length talk about what MVP and Misty, or whatever the hell her name was. We've heard your shoot on them. In UWA, who is your true MVP? Who is the most pivotal player in your game right now?
Wow. In the whole UWA?
Let's go with what you bring in and what you've brought yourself.
I don't think there's one key pivotal player. I mean, to run a company like this, as big or as small as the company is, you know, you need help. So I mean, I draw off all kinds of resources that I have. That stems from the talent that I have in the ring to the people that help with the, you know, everything else that goes up and around our productions. No one pivotal, man. It's a big old chain, and if I lose a link, then I either got to fix the link or replace it. Else it just don't work. Simple as that.
Okay, I'll throw out a couple names here. See what you got for me. Our cruiserweight champion, Virus.
He's a little white cracker. He's got a lot of maturing to do, and then he'll be good if he doesn't kill himself before he has a chance.
How about our former cruiserweight champion, Sean McMillan?
I got it. Remember the Bugs Bunny commercial? You know, those cartoons. You remember there was that dog,
The big
Ralph.
Pitbull, and
Ralph.
the little one.
Was Spike the big one and Ralph was the little one, or how did it work?
I think Ralph was the big one, Spike was the little one.
That's right. Sean McMillan's like Spike. You know what I mean? Meow, 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 meow. How do you explain Sean McMillan? Who watches this? Can we go to an R rating on this?
His mom and about 5 other people. And thank all 5 of you personally.
Everyone who's watching this is watching this on YouTube. Just about anyone can watch it.
Can we go to an R rating for this particular
There
section?
can be a particular parental advisory for this episode of UWA Underground. Episode 20, special parental advisory because of content in this show. This is off the hook, off the record. There's nothing held back. As of this moment, there may be cursing, there may be swearing, there may be denigration. Just go.
As long as there's no nudity.
To an adult
You have been
audience.
warned.
Okay. Sean McMillan. Sean McMillan, here's the best way to do this. Sean is like an erect penis in a whorehouse. He's all over the place, you know what I mean? He just can't stay focused. Sucker's like, you know what I mean, a dividing rod in the Sahara Desert that just... I didn't swear, right? We gave the parental warning. That's Sean. Maybe, you know what I mean? He just...
Speaking of big dicks, who's been your worst problem within the company in the last 5 years?
You know, there's been a number of setbacks in the last 5 years. Individuals, I don't like to go that route and you know, put fingers here and put fingers there. The biggest setbacks that I've had in the last 5 years haven't been individuals. They've been situations, they've been buildings, they've been shows. Biggest setback, okay, if we want to point out an individual, MVP's uncle. He set me back 2 years anyways, with a show we ran in Lachute. There, that would be the biggest one. That would cost me about $4,000. So.
Okay, let's look at a positive. What has been the biggest shining moment in the past 5 years? What has been the biggest show, the biggest event, the most memorable moment for Dave Dalton?
Probably Bloodbath. Probably, as far as memorable moments, that one will always stick out. As far as big turning points, we had one when we had the Rideau campus, and we started to run the shows. I thought that was definitely a turning point for us. But as far as the emotion and that general coming out of the building with a really good feeling, that was probably Bloodbath, and that was because we thought we found our niche as far as the fan base went, and we thought we put on a pretty good show that night that they really appreciated, and you know, it was a testament to the perseverance that we had with the company, because you know, there was a good time period where we were running on nothing, fumes basically, you know. And we had a lot of setbacks, and we were able to turn it around. And I'm pretty confident saying that we run the best shows in a good area, or a good stretch of area from around here. And it's because we work really hard to do it. So.
Okay, I've got a question that a lot of the fans would like to know, at least explained in depth. Is why you don't put on more shows in the Ottawa area? Why do you always go out of town?
Can I field this one for a second?
By all
As
means.
a fan?
By all means.
As a fan, any of you who sit home and watch Raw every week or SmackDown every week or pay 35 plus bucks to go to a WWE show, what do you get for your money? Every week, are you not solely disappointed you don't see wrestling for what wrestling once was? As a fan, the whole reason I hooked up with UWA as opposed to CPW or whatever else is out there was it was wrestling for wrestling and not just for the show and the glamour and the smoke and mirrors and all that fun crap. So you can take it from there. Ottawa fans don't seem to know wrestling for wrestling. They expect to go and see TNA and nothing but.
One, Ottawa, because of its location, is very expensive to run. You know, it's not the biggest airport in the world, so bringing bigger names in usually there's a cost increase just because of the area that we're in. We pay licensing fees, insurance fees to a commission, which in Ottawa are more expensive than running in some of the smaller towns that we do within a 2-hour or 3-hour radius. At the same time, I've always believed that you know, a wrestling fan will get bored if we just bring it too often. And I mean, without television, it's very hard to get your product out and make people aware of it. So when you run house shows, you know, you depend on the limited budget you have for advertising, word of mouth and whatnot, and they're you know, they're not always profitable. Now, to be honest with you, they're rarely profitable. So you know, getting back to why we don't run frequently here, without television to make the people aware of our product, without a heavy financial backer to help support our product in the downtime, you know, we have to work with what we do very strategically to basically stay afloat. We want to put the best product on that we can, and if that means that we can't run it, you know, every month to do that, then so be it. I won't run it every month. I won't put a product out there for the sake of having to be within a timeline that's not up to, you know, to what I deem my standard. So hopefully that answers it. You know, we've got a lot of fans in surrounding areas that we've started to run in the last couple of years that want to see the shows, and I mean, they don't want to see the show every month, but they'd like to go a couple times a year, and then, you know, by spreading it out, it gives us a little bit greater of a territory to start to play with, and hopefully we can develop into something that you know, in the future will become a regular mainstay. And a good area for young wrestlers to help learn their craft and move on.
Okay, we'll do some very quick word association. Try to keep it to one word to describe. Let's go with Kim Jim Jim Bob, the Hickster.
What's the proper word for him? He's kind of an enigma. He's Tim.
Tim. Okay, Daytona Beach bad boy, Jason Cage.
That boy, I think, was raped in high school. I don't know, because I'm not even sure by which sex. He's definitely a character. Are we talking about the bad boy himself, or are we talking about the persona behind the bad boy?
We're talking about the character.
Okay.
From what the fans know of.
The character, wow, the character's not that far off from his real life. It's really not. Other than the fact that I don't think Daytona and his character has 4 kids, but the guy behind the character sure as hell does, and those are the ones that we know of. So he's a good guy though. I like him.
Okay.
I wouldn't shower with him, but I like him.
Moonshine out of the picture. Let's Moonshine. What he's done as a manager and.
I wouldn't shower with Moonshine either. I just wouldn't. But that's okay because there's not a lot of people I shower with. So. Wow, he has helped me out so much when we got this going because he brought an aspect to it that I never had before.
Being the writer?
The writer, having articles posted on the website, making people aware of the product, getting the brochures done for the shows, helping with story ideas, the only time he became a pain was when he wanted to start getting in the shows and you know what I mean, starting to want to manage some of the names coming down, but that's to be expected. I took it with a grain of salt, and he's a good guy, and I'm gonna miss him when he goes because he's gonna have to keep doing what he does and just send it to me because he's not getting off that easy. But I'm tremendously thankful for all his help, and I don't know if I've expressed that over the years to him, but I think I have. I think he knows. But I'm still not going to shout over them. So.
All right, Hollywood hunks, Dino and Cheeky.
I wouldn't shower with them either, but I think they shower together. So.
Can we move away from showering with your talent to
sure.
what you think of them?
Dino's tremendously talented. He's got a lot of physical and athletic ability. He has a presence as far as charisma goes. He has it. I don't think it's as strong as Cheeky. At the same time, Cheeky doesn't have the physical ability that Dino does, so they complement each other very well. Mixed in with the rest of now playing. If we're going to do word association with Castor McPherson, probably if not the most charismatic character that I've ever had, definitely top 2. And I'll be honest, I'm a now playing mark. So now don't get me wrong, because they're still all crackers and stuff, but I enjoy the work that they do. And Cheeky, I've always said, Cheeky's got the heart of a lion, but he's got the body of a cricket, and it's just not happening for him anymore. He's kind of beat up, but as long as they can keep doing what they're doing, who knows? Maybe they'll wear gold in this company someday.
Okay, let's go with some of the bigger names you bring in. How about Bolin?
Johnny Bolin. I like John. John's a hoss, man. That's one powerful dude. I mean, he's a world-class power lifter, and
top 25.
Wow. So, and he has this car which just gets incredible gas mileage. So paying his trans coming in is just a bonus. Look at him, you know what I mean? The guy's got that sculpture physique. His work is definitely improved. He's not a young fella, but he's young to the business, and he's a well conditioned athlete. And if he catches a couple of breaks that are going to go his way, he may get a career out of this before it's said and done. So I wish him the best of luck. I like him. He's a good cracker. He's an American cracker. He's like a Ritz.
Okay, so the three people that everybody will want to know about for the next shows: Bobby and Sin.
Bobby and
Let's go
Sin. Good guy. Love Bobby's work. One of the best sellers that I've ever, you know what I mean, that I've had a chance to watch. He understands the industry. He was brought into it properly. He's respectful. He's solid from front to back. You know, a lot of people questioned for years whether he had it. Personally, I think he does, and that's why he carries the gold in our company. Sin's crazy. He's just. I like Sin. You know, he'll be the first to tell you he's an ass, and that's cool because so am I. So you know, we get along all right, and you know, he's pretty underrated. As far as I'm concerned, he's extremely solid. He's polished. He's got his ears in. He works his character extremely well, and I mean, he gets the crowd out of their seats. So, kudos to him. He's got to stop working me on the pay, damn it. You know what I mean?
Now the bomb drop. Jake Roberts.
Don't know the man. I've only spoken to him a few times on the phone. You know, I look forward to meeting him in person, and hopefully everything goes well. And we'll see what happens. And if everything goes well, you know, maybe we'll be able to do future things together as well.
Okay, two last ones here. I got to throw these in for my own personal pleasure. Twiggy the Ref as a host, and the Phil in general.
Twiggy the Ref as a host of
the show now.
Wow, I gotta be honest with you, I've never seen an episode of
Lucky you.
Underground, and I'm probably not even gonna watch this one. So, as a host, I
as a ref, as Twiggy.
As Twiggy? Yeah, Twiggy's
15 pounds soaking wet.
You know, McMillan may be the Twiggy looks like the, you know what I mean? What's that?
Okay, well, if
no,
Twiggy...
no. It's I'm just kidding. Twiggy's, you know what I mean? Twiggy's a good guy. He's got some knowledge in the industry. He's a good ref, and he's got some good ideas. He's a huge mark still, and he knows it, and he doesn't care. And that's cool. And he's another one that's you know, stepped up in the last few months and has helped me out tremendously with some of the stuff, including our new webpage. And I know Donnie had the old one, and that was tremendous as well. No, it really was. And I'm you know, but you know, things evolve.
Things get better. I must give kudos to Twiggy. It does look superior.
Well, but
now,
if it wasn't for you, we'd never got it up and running, right?
If Twiggy is our erect shaft, let's move on to the big sack, the Phil.
Wow. The Phil. I like the Phil. The Phil's okay. The Phil is, you know, the Phil came in and did some training with me, and pleasantly surprised me. He moves tremendously well for a big fella.
If you guys haven't noticed, next episode, he's a little bit more petite.
No, he's a whole lot more petite. He looks like he did that one of the. He could definitely do like the before and after thing. There's what we need, Phil. Can we like market some sort of like, you know, vitamin C pill and call it like Miracle Cure and like have before and after pictures and saying, I took this 3 times a day and look at me. You know what I mean?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, sure you do. Come on, buddy. You know what I mean?
You lost a Showtime somehow. The equivalent of. Yeah, I'm talking about you, McMillan.
Yeah, I took a shit.
Seriously, how much weight have you lost?
About, I don't know. I couldn't tell because I couldn't weigh
30,
myself before.
40 pounds.
Well, what do you weigh now?
Let's see, you tip the
About
scale, the
350.
scale ends at 354.
I would say you're down a good 30 to 40, easily.
I say kudos to the Phil for that.
Okay, enough of this.
Phil's okay. Phil comes up with some cracker ideas sometimes for shows and whatnot, and I mean, he's I would love Phil to come to me with a blank check and say, this is what I want for a show, and I'd be like, write the check, dude, you know what, I can give you whatever you want, you know what I mean?
If I had some money, I would.
In which case, we'd be off and running. It'd be a beautiful relationship between me and you. But, you know, unfortunately, we can't always bring in the bodies that certain people would like to see, and I try and move the roster around with the top-end stuff. Although we do repeat sometimes with the names we bring in, it's just because Well, I mean, some of them I like, and some of them we have to sometimes, and you know, some of them they just end up over here. I don't know.
Well, Donnie said that was the last two, but I've got two more, and that's going to be the end of it.
Seeing as how this is your show and this is a shoot, and we're all like a family here, Phil, why don't you take the rightful spot and do some interviewing yourself?
Didn't want to do this.
The first question being, why doesn't UWA finish storylines? Like, how come things are just dropped all of a sudden and not finished in the next show?
Actually, well, because of the schedules that we run, rather than try and develop storylines, because we know we usually only run every 2 months, and we may not be in the same area to run that storyline again. What we do is we run storylines each show. They're usually centered around the main events. It's very rare that we go off of that. We have tried to run different angles, which we've pushed from show to show. Unfortunately, you know, we started a great storyline, or what I believe to be a great storyline, in Gatineau the last show, and we're going to continue that even though we're going away 2.5 hours from, you know, what we consider, I guess, our home base. And that's just because we do need to continue this, and we hope that the fans will be able to pick up what goes on via the internet and any of the forums that are on some of the public boards. And you know, primarily though, it's just been lack of successive shows to really unravel them. That and the fact that you know, with the cast of characters that we have, I want to spend more time concentrating, because some of them are very young and don't have a ton of experience. I'd rather them concentrate on the work that they're doing in the ring, and rather than be involved and worry about, you know, doing off-camera routines and whatnot. When they're ready for that, we'll progress there, and hopefully we'll be in a better position to actually start developing thicker and more storylines, rather than just, you know, main ones, have offshoots for other people as well. So.
I guess the last question being what I think is the most important question, because rumors are running rampant. What's the future of UWA?
I don't know. The future is what the future will be. You know, we've got a very busy summer coming up this summer, and when we're done with that, we will evaluate how everything is going, and we'll move into our fall schedule. And you know, it's really related to whether or not we can get locations to run on a little bit more frequent of a basis. You know, again, I'm not going to push anything monthly, just because unfortunately, without the UWA can't really operate without me. It's not to the point where I could just give the keys to somebody and say, "Oh, I'll be at the show at 8 o'clock, you know, be ready to go," sort of thing. That's just not ready to happen. I don't know that it ever will be. So the UWA, unfortunately, is still very dependent on me. And you know, as I get older, I've got other responsibilities to, which are going to consume a lot of my time. So, like I say, we'll see what happens. That's about the best I can do. Like I said, we got a busy summer coming up. Let's just get through the summer, and then we'll see what's left and where we go from there.
Do you have any last words for everyone?
If you haven't seen our show, come and see our show. My guess is that if you're watching the Underground, you had to have been to one of them, and my guess is you probably liked it. So, you know, let me know if there's anything that we can do better. You know, let me know if there's anything, or if there's any people that you particularly want to see, you know, brought into the fold, and we'll do the best job that we can to do this. So the last thing I'm going to say is, as a fan, don't dig too deep into wrestling, because the more you undercover, the less entertaining it's going to become for you. You know, need what you know what you need to know, and just leave it at that. And go see the show and enjoy it for what it is. 2.5, 3 hours of just good times and entertainment, and a bunch of young guys willing to kill themselves to get the pop. You know, that's who we are.
Well, that's the end. For more information, go to universalwrestlingalliance.com. And thank you.
Well, folks, we've come to a close of episode 21. We've passed our milestone 20. We're already through the first of many more to come. The Phil, Twiggy, myself will all be back very soon. More information, we'll let you know about the upcoming shows. Just so you know, no midgets, porn stars, wrestlers, or anyone else, including Sean McMillan, were injured in the taping of this episode. We apologize for anybody who may be offended. Wait a minute, no we don't. If you were offended, tough shit. This is Underground.
Donnie, I was offended.
Shut up. If you were offended, it was because you were meant to be offended. What was said was an open mic, open forum, chance to air out dirty laundry. It ends here with any luck. Let's move on to 22. Phil, any last words there?
You're mean to me, man. You're mean.
Roll the outro.